very wet. No, Kearns is through. Phil Kearns is through.
Finally, Wallaby supporters, as soon as you start hearing that Lions chant come out, shut it down! Shut it down straight away! Don't want to hear any of that crap in our country.
Okay, Kearnsy, when the Irish team ran on to Eden Park for their warm-up, the place erupted. Now, I reckon there's more gold than green in the crowd, but obviously those neutrals are going for Ireland. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, they're not going to have much to cheer about tonight, Clarky, so they might as well cheer them on in the warm-up.
Look at the New Zealanders in the haka.
And you mentioned it then, Clarky, if that doesn't fire up the New Zealanders, nothing will. I know Bob Dwyer used to always say, why are they allowed to do it and let themselves get the advantage at the beginning of the game? Just not fair doing it.
But it is, of course, part of World Rugby, the New Zealand haka.
Well, get rid of it.
At least Australia's got Walsey Matilda, which is ringing out around the ground. Fearful.
I'm sure that terrifies them about a bloke knocking off a sheep and drowning himself.
Again, the referee's got to hurry the game up. He can't just let the Irish slow it down. Look at them just like Brown's cows.
Yeah.
Fiddly-dee, 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 potato. Out the back there.
This is probably for you. How will the Wallaby pack handle this Springbok pack, which of course is a monster pack?
A monster pack, bigger monster than Will Skelton? Come on. Come on. Who was that? Peterson, 204. No.
Calm in that sense.
Yeah, I think it's sad, in particular for teams like the Brumbies and the Sharks, Crusaders, who are doing so well, Hurricanes, for example, that are doing so well. For the Waratahs, I think they'll be pretty happy that it's come on through. The season's potentially at an end. Yeah. They're not going to make the finals. They've got no chance of making the finals. So for teams like that, you know, but
what a game! The Wallabies had survived to win 20-16, and rugby had a highlight for the ages.
It's certainly gone down in folklore in Australian rugby, and it is one of those great moments. You know, there are some really special moments, and George's is one of those.
Forevermore, George Gregan, number 9, will be a hero in Australian rugby.
They don't call it the Kearns try game, do it? It tends to be called the Gregan tackle game. But in our household, I make the family call it the Kearns try game. A good opportunity to try and help out over there.
Oh, what about this little bit of magic? Up you go, there you go.
Oh, you don't see that in some of the best nightclubs in Sydney.
Look at Tony Woodcock hoping like hell he'd pass the ball so he didn't have to confront that.
Wide ball, and here's Israel Folau. They hold on to him, Earls, and it spits out. Is that it? Yes, it is. Knocked on.
Gee, there's another Irish hand in that. There's another Irish hand in that.
We should be worried about the standard of refereeing. Craig Joubert, in my view, is one of the better referees in the game, but the other night he had a shocker. So you Kiwis, shut up. That same ref gifted you the World Cup final in 2011. Just ask the rest of the world.
He's on the money. He's come through players right in front of him. There's no way Carter, with his head on the wrong side, is going to stop big Kev Horwell on his home turf.
Turnover.
Memories of Richard Vance from South Africa. The strain, the lactic acid's coming under his legs. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there.
Oh, the boy from Warwick.
Well, you can rip up your membership to the Front Rowers Union. Greg Holmes, front rowers not allowed to run more than 3 metres for a try. It's in the bylaws.
Shut him down. Great ball over on the far side. We're going to score a try.
No.
It is Woodcock.
Here at Eden Bloody Park. Let me begin by saying Eden Park is not the highest socio-economic area of Auckland, and underline that by adding there's absolutely nothing special about this place. It's no Garden of Eden. It's not like you're walking into Kings Park, Durban, or into Twickenham. No imposing structure or seating or aura. Absolutely nothing to write home about.
Guilty, he could be forced to sit out the rest of the Wallabies World Cup campaign. So nervous times for Michael Cheika. Phil, your opinion, how bad was it, and could we possibly have seen the last of Reece Hodge?
It is the biggest load of trite that we've seen in world rugby for a long time. I mean, that is just rubbish. That's been brought on by the press, there's no doubt about it. Reece didn't have time to get his arms up properly. He was trying. You could actually see it in the action. And look who gets poleaxed more than anyone, Reece Hodge. That's embarrassing for world rugby that I even consider that.
Stuart, you are...
Not have done that. I disagree slightly with Phil. I thought it was a clumsy challenge. He knows the rules. It's high. There's no attempt to get the arms there. I think it should have been a yellow, but have play.
We've just seen an incident there in the Ireland-Scotland game. The Irish bloke at the end of the game nearly ripped the head off one of the Scottish guys. Not a word. Nothing.
Starting point for...
Lovely ball. Sonny Bill Williams, Kieran Reid, and Rico Ione. God, he's good. Just keeps scoring tries.
And look at these two. What happens? Oh, did we see the slap? Did we see the slap? Oh, look, he's looking away. I didn't do anything.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Oh, and then, oh!
It was just a little push.
What was that?
I pushed him first. I mean, that whole thing.
And the other guy pushed him first. Is that right, Phil Kearns?
Part of my frustration.
This side.
Yeah.
Pushing off.
Oh, gee.
Pushing off the mark. Okay. Scrum. Pushing off the mark. I thought that's what you did in scrum.
Wow.
Push.
He told the halfback to put the ball in, and he's gone completely against his own decision. The Wallabies bemused because they were dominant at that scrum.
So this week I've been copping it from my mates across the ditch, all those Kiwis over there, and you know what, they're giving it to me, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't upset you Kiwis, so I'm pretty happy about all this, I've got to say. Anyway, let's move on, let's look at a couple of the incidences. Chuck Potgieter, let's start with that one. So he gets yellow carded, and I reckon fair enough. The arm comes round under the laws of the game. Yes, it was reckless. Yes, it made contact with the head. I'm prepared to cop the yellow card, but it should not have been a penalty try. He was no certainty to score that.
It was mindless defence from the Wallabies. If you came the other side, there were 6 Wallaby forwards marking the blind side against 2 attackers. We're always going to run out of numbers on the other side of the field. Yeah, good play from New Zealand, but terrible defence. Just terrible, lazy vision from the Wallabies.
The Crusaders were bumped off. It was a lovely ball from Cameron Clark. What a super pill. Bang, there's one. Get out of my way. Oh, and you go too. Oh, I'll fall over in front of me. I'll score that. One. Get out of my way. Oh, and you go too. Oh, I'll fall over in front of me. I'll score that.
He wasn't sure how he was going to go over the top.
Side that was a little frustrating. That probably turned the match, and then the yellow card. I've got to say, I'm consistently frustrated. I know World Rugby is the other teams except New Zealand frustrated with the free ride that New Zealand get from referees globally.
Greetings, what did you make of it all?
Unbelievable, and Israel Folau was class.
Folau got more touches tonight than I can remember in a number of games, and every one of them was good.
That's right.
I'm on it now, I can't believe it.
Yeah, there wasn't much in it. The Springboks trying to close that gap with the Lions. You see, not much of a gap there.
Kicks under pressure. Bernard Foley had a case of the yips, and he knew courage from the man. He knew it was time to hand over to someone else. He'd lost his confidence.
What about that first stat, Luwaki? He's only been on for 12, 13 minutes. Third handling error in that time. That is a disaster.
Luwaki again, another mistake at the back. They put the pressure on him at scrum time.
Yeah, that's a good kick. He can get to that, but he doesn't want to. He only jogs through it.
Oh!
Number 19! Error number 5 since he's been on the field.
It'll be a while before he gets an All Black test again.
He's calling for help in defence.
Holding on.
It's a free kick. Luaki, did he give away that free kick? Oh yeah. I'd be finding some blood on him and get him off too.
Here's James Hall.
Another one. Who did he beat first there? Ali Williams. He'll be disappointed he went up too fast. And Luaki.
There it is.
I will also say that it's not just Michael Cheika's fault. Our coaching for the last 15 to 20 years has been terrible. And I mean, not just at Wallaby level, or not at Wallaby level, I'm talking about juniors and the skills that we teach them and the way that we ask them to play the game. And we teach the shape and pattern and structure and process, which is all rubbish, because if you can't catch and pass and kick and tackle, you can't play the game.
He's got Aaron Smith on the inside. He cuts back. Smith gets one around the corner. And it is a try to Rieko Ioane.
No. Is that a try? Gee, I thought there was a forward pass there.
Go Ioane.
Nick White thought it was forward too.
It's a mile forward. It's a mile forward, this ball. He's already in front of him. It needs to be brought back.
All good.
Nick White's still got to make an attempt. Look at Aaron Smith.
Jeez.
He's still got to make an effort. Nick White still had 2 or 3 minutes to go. I'm actually okay with it.
Rieko Ioane's actually offside. He's in front of Aaron Smith when he passes the ball, which is offside. Aaron Smith does the big hand out the front, which I understand, but Ioane's clearly offside. Anyway, the referee gives it. You can't do much. That's why we've got a TMO. He appears to be happy with it.
So, I'm not sure about that, Nick, but certainly you talk about gracious speeches. I'd love the New Zealanders when they win something just to acknowledge the opposition. 2 World Cups in the Super Rugby title. I wonder if it's a tactic. If they've all agreed that across New Zealand, we're not going to acknowledge people with defeat. Not sure, but they do like to keep things in.
Possession of Beale, what an angle. Back in field and Curtly Beale. And look at the players run to him, they know how much that means.
How do you defend that line? The way he came back in.
Foley knew there was numbers out. If it's touched his hands, the penalty to the Wallabies. Interested to see what they do from the penalty, Kearnsy. They'll probably just go a quick tap rather than risking the chance of losing the line out.
See clearly the big stream. Give me your decision, please.
Jacob Stockdale came in from the angle. He tried to...
I'm not sure he touched the ball. It's not clear, he touched the ball.
There.
Did he get a finger to it?
Ireland,
incredible.
Yeah, Ireland clearly dominant in that first half, but gee, it was all Wallabies second half. They played the most enterprising and the better rugby in that second half. Just a real pity that this test series has come down to some refereeing.
It was in his squad announcement earlier this week. He said, "We lost to Australia the last time we played them, so no doubt they'll have a lot of self-confidence and they are worthy of starting favourites."
Can I get a close-up on me? Is there any way I can get a close-up of me? I just want to... No, it's not coming. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, woohoo!